Your mom, leave me alone. I'm gonna watch Star Trek. Hello, I'm Mark on the Search for Trek, and welcome to our very first episode of 1 Minute at a Time. I'm here with Goodwill from the UK and Izaak from Tasmania. This is the show where we break down each minute of Star Trek, the motion picture, as it says in the title, 1 minute at a time. Today we're watching time code 0 to minute 1. All right. Our synopsis. 60 seconds. What happened in this minute of Star Trek, the motion picture?
It was difficult to tell. At times I was wondering if my eyes were closed or if my eyes were open because the screen was incredibly black for this minute.
What happened, Mark, was I suffered something called positive anxiety because, as Izaak clearly said, nothing was clear. It was black.
First minute was music. It was a black screen.
So there wasn't much to see, but there was inspiring music with its major lifts and its minor drops.
A beautiful swell of music. Oh.
Music starts. It's an overture. The only Star Trek movie that I'm familiar with that starts with an overture.
That Trek sense of hope and optimism is what I'm feeling at the moment because nothing has happened yet.
Everything was dark because the future is what you make it in your imagination.
There are no uncertainties, only certainties that there's mystery.
As Starfield comes up and stars kind of drift away as if we're traveling through space. And after 60 seconds of that, it's not done. That was our synopsis. That's what happened in this first minute of Star Trek, the motion picture, which is, as far as I'm concerned, one of the most underappreciated stories ever told. Who wrote the music, right? It's
Jerry Goldsmith.
Jerry Goldsmith, thank you. And then this song is not the main title theme, which is the one that was used in Star Trek The Next Generation. This song is
Ali's theme.
The love theme for this movie.
Ali's theme.
What is it called? Ilya's theme? What is her name? Ilya?
Ali's. Yeah, Ali's theme.
Love music from this era was more like the theme from Shaft, not the music we've got here.
Oh my God, we should rewatch the opening of this movie with the theme from Shaft playing.
As it was intended.
Yes, as it was intended.
You're damn right.
What is happening? It's interesting to open a giant science fiction movie with what is essentially a love story theme.
This doesn't do anything. I don't know what I'm in for, and I'm a little bit bored, and we're only a minute in. You know, that's the reality.
I beg to differ. It's 1979. You are in the cinema and you are witnessing this for the first time. As a Star Trek fan, the cinema is in complete darkness and all you hear is Jerry Goldsmith's overture playing. Imagine that feeling and what would be going through your head at that time.
For me, it sucked me in. As an adult, when I rewatched this movie for the first time since I was a kid, I had forgotten about this, and I sat down, and I feel like this song, it's kind of it's hopeful. Goodwill touched on this in his synopsis. It's got that sci-fi tingle to it, but it's definitely a love theme, and it's a little confusing when you first experience it. And for me, I sat down, and it really engaged me. It cleared my head of any, anticipation or expectation, I think is probably the better word, and sucked me into what is, in essence, a love story.
No one expects it. No one, like I said, sitting down in the cinema, you expect to see something. You expect to have Star Trek. You don't. You have the music for the first minute. This is a different kind of Star Trek. And let's be honest, what is the one thing that most people remember from the original series? One of the things is the music. Where it be the original series theme, the fight theme, or the mirror universe. Yeah, it's the music.
I think the best moment is when the starfield fades in and it takes you a second to realize what's happening. Because of what I was saying earlier, it stopped me in my tracks. It's one of those moments. You ever be cleaning the house and you put on a movie or doing some project and you put on a movie for, in the background. and something starts happening, and you stop what you're doing, and then you realize an hour and a half later that you're still leaning on the vacuum cleaner watching the movie, standing in front of the TV.
Yeah.
That when the starfield comes in and nothing else happens except the music just keeps playing, it's that moment for me, and it still is, having just rewatched again now for the 50th time.
I think the Starfield needs the music to have the impact.
Right? Yes, correct. They're
Yeah,
mutually they're entangled, as us in the nerd community would say.
kind of like me and Goodwill.
No, we are
Entangled.
quantum entangled.
Ugh.
No matter where we are in the universe, if I have an itch, Izaak has the very same itch.
Mm.
Izaak is Tasmanian universe Goodwill. Your little itch gag,
Yeah.
hilarious.
Nothing little about it, Mark.
Hero of the minute.
My hero for this minute is the French horn, or French horns, that start playing after the starfield comes up. I don't normally like French horns. I don't know what it is. They're a disgusting instrument.
Yeah, well, we've been known. The three of us have been known for our hatred of the French horn. In fact, one of the
Well
Facebook
known.
groups where we met was the Anti-French Horn Society,
Oh,
the international one.
I can't believe we haven't told that story yet.
Mm.
I guess we should acknowledge that French horns can exist, do exist, and can actually add to an overture. I never
Yes.
thought I'd actually concede
All
that.
right. So this is great. I've never heard Izaak speak positively or this candidly in a public forum about the French horn.
That's true.
He's a private man, and he tries to hide his hatred.
Can we get anti-French horn t-shirts?
Yeah.
Flutes and French horns. No.
Yeah. Just a picture of French horn.
The
Horn.
the Ghostbusters. Yeah.
Yeah.
French. All right. Do either of you have a hero for this minute?
Yes. And similarly to the hatred of the French horn, my hero is the harp that we hear in the orchestra. Because it is reminiscent of the original series. It is reminiscent of Spock playing his Vulcan thing. Lave, or just Vulcan harp. It is reminiscent of that. And when I hear that, I hear both romance, I hear intrigue, I hear mysticism, I hear exploration. So to hear the harp, for me, is one of the most majestic things in Star Trek.
Majestic. I'm glad you used the word majestic. I was wondering how long it would take for one of us to use that word.
It's in my bingo card.
Izaak, did you have a hero?
Yeah, I'd call throbbing and intense bass line from the theme of Shaft.
That's great. Well done. I'm just... See, this is why I love watching Star Trek with you two, because I never would. Now, from now on, for the rest of my life, when I sit down to watch Star Trek the motion picture, it doesn't matter what music starts playing at the top of this movie. All I'm going to hear is...
Shaft!
It's incredible. Thank you.
You know, I didn't rehearse this Shaft stuff either. I didn't come here thinking I'm going to derail the conversation with Izaak Hayes.
Introducing James T. Kirk. He's one bad mother. Wow, chicka wow, wow, chicka wow, wow, chicka wow, wow, chicka
I know
wow.
that this is probably, search for Trek IP because I've come up with the idea here. But can we get Shaft Trek? We could make that.
Shaft Trek?
Yeah.
Didn't they already do that?
Isn't that Enterprise?
Oh my god. I'm dying. I'm actually dying. Oh.
All right. Are you going to live?
Turbo Shaft Trek. There you go. Goes up as quick as it goes down, baby. It'll be good for YouTube shorts, it's fine.
really wanted this show to be successful.
Why did you hire us?
Yeah, exactly. This is on you, Mark. You knew what you were getting.
Shit. Why is this the best minute of Star Trek the Motion Picture so far?
I'll have a go.
Izaak?
It's the only minute so far.
Okay, that's fair. That's good. Well considered.
Very much. I'm measured.
Yeah, Goodwill.
I would like to parry off Izaak and say that this is the first minute of the movie thus far. It is the premiere minute, and it breaks new ground for Star Trek within 60 seconds. What other movie could say that?
Shaft.
So is your question, what other movie can say it started in the first 60 seconds?
What other movie had Jerry Goldsmith starting a movie in the first 60 seconds with an overture and pitch blackness?
I think I prefer Mark's question. What other movie started in its first 60 seconds? Gone with the Wind, Sound of Music, Star Wars.
Star Wars was halfway done in the first 60 seconds. What are you on about?
I'm basically in agreement with both of you on why this is the best minute so far. I don't know that I care to belabor that anymore.
Mark's trying to get to the end.
What did we learn this week? Did you learn anything?
I have learned that this movie goes for 140 minutes. The next 139 weeks spent with you gentlemen is going to be an absolute riot of laughter. I've really enjoyed this. I've enjoyed this bit more than the minute that we watched. So I'm really looking forward to this project and seeing what twists and turns we can take. And if I can bring up Shaft in each episode.
Wow. We're going to definitely need t-shirts.
I learned in this minute that I have never wanted Shaft Trek more in my entire life. I have learned that I am really, really unlucky not to have been alive in 1979 to witness this in the cinema for the first time. Just to be in complete darkness, surrounded by people, listening to this music. Minus the people would be more beneficial, but it is a great shame that I wasn't around at the time to witness this, because I think it would have been an experience.
A lonely experience if there was no one else in the cinema.
That is a positive experience when it comes to me, because I don't like humans.
I've learned in the first minute of Star Trek the Motion Picture that Goodwill doesn't like humans.
Take that, audience.
Or French horns.
Wow. But an audience of Star Trek the Motion Picture would be filled with your ilk.
Yeah, it'd be filled with nerds.
Yeah.
Nerds!
Nerds.
No one likes nerds. Nerds!
Mom, leave me alone. I'm going to watch Star Trek.
You came out of the basement for this, Mom.
Mom, I'm watching Star Trek. Wow. Great. So that wraps up this episode. Gentlemen, do either of you have any predictions for next week's minute?
I would be surprised if we saw any colour or characters in the next minute. I've got a feeling that this song has got a lot left in it.
I predict even more stars and the same music, and the ability for me to look into the starfield and go, I'm in space.
Goodwill, when you see a starfield like that, do you duck the stars or do you just go straight through?
I go straight through. I am an unstoppable force.
When I'm watching the credits of Next Generation, I duck when the ship goes towards me.
Is it because you've got a huge TV and you feel that you are actually in space?
Just being cautious. You never know.
Yeah, you never know when it's going to be real.
Imagine going to the doctor and because you've been hit by a full-on Enterprise D because you didn't duck. I mean, I'm not an idiot.
So when it comes out, like when it's flying about to go to warp, do you pretend that the D is coming out of you?
I wouldn't say it's pretending.
The D. Okay. Well, that's been the very first minute of Star Trek the Motion Picture, 1 minute at a time. Looking forward to next week when we cover minutes 1 to 2. Go climb a rock. Okay.
Nerds.
Nerds.
Nerds.